In this video, we'll be taking a look at the Point Groups tab, the various selection tools, keyboard shortcuts, and the Point Groups context menu. So let's begin with the shape tools. Box select. You left click with your mouse, drag a box, and then click again. To deselect, hold down the Control key, left click with your mouse, drag a box, and then click again to finish that box. Ellipse works the same way as the rectangle. Hold Control, click to deselect. The lasso tool, same way. Hold down Control to deselect. Now the polygon is a little bit different because you're going to make multiple clicks, and then to finish that selection, you will double click with the left mouse button. And to deselect, hold the Control key just before you double click, and that will deselect. Now the shape tools and the point tool. So the point tool is used to select a group or to center your view on a point and make that your pivot point when navigating. You'll find often you'll be using the keyboard shortcut, which is P on the keyboard, and that will toggle this shape tool here between point and your last selection tool. See, so I'm just pressing P on the keyboard. And that's important because you'll make a selection and then you may want to switch to the point tool to click and center and change your view, and then press P again to make a second selection. If you make a mistake, you can press Ctrl+Z to undo your last move or your last selection. You can also press Clear Selection. Let me redo. You can press Clear Selection to clear those points. Now it's important that you're in one of the selection tools. See, if I move back over to the point, the clear selection becomes grayed out. So just switch back to one of those and you can clear the selection. You'll notice in the pop-up there is Alt-C for a keyboard shortcut. So we can do that to also clear the selection. So now let's look at the Point Groups tab. Here you have Hide Selected. So I've selected the piping group. You can see that name right down here at the bottom. So Hide Selected. There's also Hide Unselected. Show All. And keyboard shortcuts for those to hide the piping would be Ctrl H to hide any group. And Ctrl R would be to show all groups. And then you can also toggle back and forth. So let's press Ctrl H to hide the floor and also the piping once again. And if I press Ctrl+T, I can toggle back and forth between these two. So I'll press Ctrl+R to reveal all or to show all. Next, let's look at the context menu. So I'll click on this group piping, right click, Point Groups, select points in group. Deselect points in group. Let's make a selection here. Add selection to group. And that brings up the point group selection window here to add these points to any of these groups. That can also be done by pressing Ctrl+A to bring up the point group selection window. So let's clear the selection. Another thing is under the Scene Explorer window, We see the custom groups we've created as well as a few predefined groups. And we can hide and show those groups by clicking on the light bulb icon.